leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. The field's not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I gotta shout out
Started
the
off with a
party.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Breaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, miny, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. I had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the ride with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
GM, welcome to Coffee with Captain. Coffee's hot, markets are friendly green, and NVIDIA just reminded us why AI and crypto are the same trade. Let's get into it this morning. Appreciate y'all being here. The X video is live once again. It's pinned up top along with the YouTube video feed and the Abstract video feed. Shout out to all of our GMers. I see the notification in Abstract. I'm going to head over there. Yep, knew it was Katie before I even jumped in there. Appreciate you. She is the Mel of Abstracts. If you know, you know. And Zonko, Hizzy, Einstein, Zombie Rob, everyone dropping those GMs in the chat. Greatly appreciate y'all. Crypto Jammin', the GW, General Wag's always out there, shilling bearish, respect the game. Grand Rising to you, Web3 Warhead, as well as Suyin. Man, I really need to learn how to properly pronounce that name. Suyin, am I saying that correctly? Suyin X. Dobbins, GM, Beanie as well. Appreciate y'all and excited for the day. It's feel it in my bones. A lot of people are saying it's the Jane Street ceasing their sending markets. Others are saying it's just tied to Nvidia and they're just smashing earnings yesterday. Incredible numbers we'll get into here in a bit. CZ took the day off. I think it's probably a combination of all the above, a little bit of all, not just one thing. There was some good, more detailed articles on Jane Street. And I think part of it, we talked previously a few weeks back about now that Bitcoin had made its way into the TradFi markets, that the was more than, there's more than 21 billion Bitcoin in the sense of all this paper trading. And I think that is, Jane Street certainly plays in that game, that world as well. So I'm not going to claim to know all the answers, but I will do my best. I'll at least parrot some of the takes that have been shared. And deduce from those what you will. Before I get started, a little bit of cold open news, because I don't really have much to say other than if you shout out the cheeses. Cheeses, I didn't qualify. I did qualify. I spent a ton of money on gas, shared the link, and they rugged me on the GUI token claim. So I'm on the sidelines, but instead of just staying on the sidelines and complaining about not getting the claim that I should have been eligible for, I finally found a way to short it, thanks to Mayhem, who turned me on to BitUnex. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly either, but I will, if anyone wants to join me in the GUI short, I'll drop a ref link in the chat right now, and I'll pin that up top. I say this, do this. I'm not a financial advisor, certainly not your financial advisor. So do this with your own risk, especially if you're going to lever up. I will just share my journey. I put about a decent lunch or a decent lunch or a mediocre dinner on a 40x short. So they not only can you short it, you can go all the way up to 50x if you'd like. And not knocking. Hey, if you've got a claim, go claim it. Cash out, race to the exits. I think you probably won't be the only one. As far as I know, there's not a lot to do with the token other than sell it. And if you missed it, the claim, they did a big social campaign, went kind of viral, got a lot of people excited, and then for whatever reason, a lot of people ended up not being eligible, even if they shared their posts and did the things they asked them to do. And then further, you had to stake it for 30 days. Like, you couldn't claim and sell. You had to claim and stake, and it was forced staking. That 30-day clock just hit. So I suspect a lot of sellers. I don't see many of those claimers keeping the token, hence why I am short. That said, I am fully prepared to be liquidated. So I didn't go too hard at it because I fully expect there to be just I don't know the team, but how I've seen them move and some of the what I would say, I guess maybe questionable activity around this claim. For staking, not a fan of that. I would just say that I'm fully expecting somewhat of a scam pump or two, whether they've deployed market makers or just the team themselves. And therefore, I'm not. I threw a little bit of, like I said, a lunch over there, a mediocre dinner, and I went 40x short. Fully okay with if I get liquidated, I get liquidated. There is part of the referral bonus. You do get a $50 Bitcoin voucher if you deposit at least $50. It's a centralized exchange. You've got platform risk. I had not heard about it until this morning, and but I was told it is where it's the new perp dex that that Wizards of Soho's group is using. So no KYC. It is a SEX, centralized exchange. And how many Arepa's worth? Let's see. Well, I've never bought an Arepa. Best Arepas are homemade version. I actually have. I bought them as part of like a platter, like a sample platter. Let's see. Let's say, I don't know, like 10 Arepas, maybe 10, 20 Arepas, something like that. Yeah, good question. But it is currently, the GUI token is currently trading at a fully diluted value of 336 million. And I just think that is crazy for a token that is really nothing much more than a social campaign, as far as I can tell. And it was like a faux honeypot in the sense that you could buy and sell, but the majority of people who would be selling, they were not able to sell because they were forced staking. So again, that is our cold open of the day. Unless Jesus, I know I appreciate you sharing that link. Unless you had anything to add, if you got a bold take on GUI, let's hear it. Otherwise, anyone who wants to join me on the short, I did pin that link up top, that ref link for BitUnex, and I will be claiming my $50 of Mayhem, who shared the post with me. So if you don't want to click my ref link, go grab Mayhem's. It's in the war room. And I would just say this: if you like, Mayhem is shorting. He took his $50 Bitcoin future voucher and shorted Bitcoin. I'm going to be longing it. I am. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I've been bull posting I've been saying the bottom was in for the last couple of days. Combination of the Jane Street suit and them allegedly ceasing their 10 a.m. dump, combined with now I'll add the NVIDIA earnings to my my bull thesis. But I think all that combined, I yesterday on the show I said ETH was going to go over 2K. It did. It's holding as of now. Some are saying it's just a short short relief rally, and we'll be back in the bear. And we might be, but I think it's maybe more likely that we rip here soon. So at least I'm hoping. I'm hoping not just for my bag. I'm hoping for the space. The space there's a lot more exciting. There's a lot more things happening. A lot more teams ship. And our friends over at OpenSea have a TGE coming here within about 35 days. And I would like to see the market treat that drop well. As we talked about yesterday, the tens of thousands of dollars we've spent in OpenSea fees and royalties, I hope to get a chunk of that back. Jesus GM, anything to add on the GUI token? Am I being too harsh here?
No, not at all. I don't see no point in holding it. So, before you, I would say before you sell, go register with the Bit Unix thing and then sell.
There you go.
That way you help your short position. But, but I do know that if you do not claim within this window, you have to wait until next Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Okay. To unstake. So it's like every Thursday there's an unstaking period. So if you miss this window, then you have to wait a week.
I guess to add to that, then I'll be doing this. I'll leave my short open for. Normally, I would have just left it open until it goes all the way to zero, but I will leave my short open for basically 24 hours. You're telling me like when is the cutoff? When does the claiming end as far as this window?
Well, it was really weird because originally the website showed February 24th as the claim. Then it went to February 26th at 6 p.m. UTC. I got a ping last night at 9 Eastern that said, hey, GUI is able to be unstaked. Go get it. So I don't know if it's 24 hours from last night at 9, but 6 p.m. UTC, I guess, is what, 1 a.m.? Is that right? Or that's midnight or 1 a.m. UK time. So yeah, I don't. Maybe at midnight tonight is when it kicks back off. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But that's
you said 6 p.m. UTC?
Yes.
Google tells me that's 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I got 9 at 9 o'clock is when I got the ping that everything was open now to unstake. So just watch it, see what happens after 24 hours if the unstaking is locked up. I mean, I would go claim your shit now. If you have the ability to go claim it, sell it, and then join Cap's referral and short.
Yeah, 100% agree on that. Like, you don't have to short it with me. Again, please, especially if you've never played around with leverage, it is you're almost like it's like literal trial by fire. Like, you're not really in the leverage streets until you've been liquidated probably more than once, and it doesn't feel good. Rest in peace to all those are still cleaning up wounds from 1010. I am pausing because I'm debating how if I extend cold open and share a personal story, not even market related, but
do it, bro. You already said that you wanted to share a personal story. It's on your mind. Do it.
I mean, what's still on my mind is how the name Jesus came to be, but I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
It's not even market related though. It is.
Bro, we were talking about favorite cheeses yesterday. They didn't have nothing to do with the market.
Mine would have been dating related, and
hello,
probably not dating related. Tied with 1010, had a dinner was a guest at someone's house, like a dinner party, small, but and the other gentleman there that whose house it was talking markets on 1010 and showed his portfolio, which was sizable, and how much he was down on the day. And I'm just like, I didn't even comment. I didn't even bring it up. I was like, yeah, worst crypto liquidation in history. And he's like, it was just spot. Like, so he was down, but he's fine. Like, it didn't meanwhile, I'm over here like, do I talk about the liquidation? And I didn't even go there, but it was, it's just like there's levels of pain, and it's one thing to be down on a day like 10-10 in spot. It's another thing to see a portion of your port just wiped out. And these were also like relatively new friends by way of a woman I was dating at the time. And did not, I'm getting the hook to extend to cut cold open. I'm going to cut it before I get myself in trouble, because this I probably should not be saying on recorded space, but got a phone call from former woman I was dating yesterday. And this is after a text on Valentine's Day. I'm just going to leave it at that. And I might need is Dow Jones out there? I might need to tap Dow Jones for a tag team. Not tag team, not to get it the wrong way. I might need a pinch hitter, maybe is more. I don't know. I'm just getting myself in trouble. Spring training is open, though. Anyone catch any spring training baseball games? That's
we're not about to have like a Maury Povich moment where Cap, you are the father.
No, none of that.
Oh, okay.
I think those days are behind me. I think I'm not rolling those dice, but pretty sure those days are behind me. Oh my God, Payne, I'm sorry. I was not planning on going here. My brain is just, this is. I fire in real time. Sometimes you get really profound takes on the markets. Other times you just get a little too much information on arepas or other extracurricular activities. I will say this, since I'm talking about speaking in real time, I'm going to see if I can find it. And then we will get into E3 claiming 2K and Bitcoin and NVIDIA and the crypto crime investigation Super Bowl, courtesy of ZachXBT today. By the way, I wasn't sure if we would get the news during the show today. I don't know what time zone Zach, he's Anon, so I don't know what time zone is his home time zone. I've never done a deep analysis on his posting schedule. But there's actually, not only is there a poly market, which has over 30 million now, on which crypto company Zach will expose, there is a market on which day he will release this investigation. And he already said it was going to be today. So 94% of the market is betting on today. But further, there's a market on what hour ZachXBT will release his investigation. Like, if you ever question how degenerate we are as a race, as a population, as a society, human race, this is insane. Like, you can go bet on what hour ZachXBT will release this investigation. Currently, the lead spot is 8 to 9 a.m. Now, granted, it's only $1,400 of volume on this one, nothing like the 30 million on the total market on which company is going to be exposed. But right now it looks like there's if you combine the two, a 60% chance it's released during Coffee with Captain. If it's dropped at 10 o'clock, we'll hang out a little extra. I do have a 10:30 meeting I need to get to today, so I won't. If it's too much after 10, it might have to be a brief flyover, and we'll dive in deeper tomorrow. But yeah, 60% chance. It looks like, again, very little volume here on this one. We'll come back to the larger market in a bit, but I did want to share, because I was talking about live commentary, especially when you do this day in and day out and for multiple hours. Sometimes you just have brain farts. Other times you say stuff you probably shouldn't say. And I caught it was an SVP clip. SVP, one of the better, one of my favorite, sports commentators, I guess, if you will, personalities, whatever you want to call him. I don't watch his show regularly, but I used to back in the Sports Center days. I'm assuming Sports Center is still a thing. I can't even tell you the last time I watched Sports Center. Probably last time I watched Sports Center probably would have been a hotel or something. Anyways, long story short, he's calling Mike Tirico the GOAT. Tirico, if you missed it, was at the Super Bowl, calling play-by-play at the Super Bowl. And, oh man, Mel, sending Noah my best. Mel says, Noah took a blow to the back of the neck by a teammate last night. Friendly fire. Off to the doctors today we go. Hope all is good there and nothing major. Tirico was at the Super Bowl calling play-by-play and then went straight from the Super Bowl to the Olympics. The SVP take is he's the GOAT, calling Tirico the GOAT right now. And high acclaim from someone who's done pretty well in that world. And if I can find it real quick, I think I pinned it up top. Yeah, so I pinned SVP's take as well as Tarico's breakdown or Tarico's kind of wrap up of the hockey game. And let me grab it. This should come through. I think audio will come through okay. Let me share. And it's like maybe 30, 60 second clip here, but it's worth the 30, 60 seconds. So let me play this and then we'll jump into
because of a drought that almost lasted a half century. Those teams are revered. They are held on to forever. And what happened today doesn't take away from the greatness of those teams or the meaning that those teams have in U.S. hockey. But what you saw today was the build of a generation, inspired perhaps by that team that lost in 2010 in Vancouver to the Sidney Crosby golden goal in overtime, or the team where TJ Oshie had all those shootout goals in 2014. That's when these guys were doing what you're doing, watching on TV, and they were young, and they were living the dream. So for all the young people out there, not just the hockey, but all the Olympics you've watched, those dreams are formed now. Go chase them and go get them, because our country loves sports, and it brings us together unlike anything else. And if you didn't know that, if you haven't been watching the last 2 weeks, you saw it in Team USA Hockey, winning the gold over their arch rival Canada here in Milan to wrap up these 25th Olympic Winter Games.
Took me a second to stop it. Just a not scripted, does that in real time. It's not just what he says, but how he says it. We talk voice inflection, and again, getting kudos from some of the best in the game is it's pretty powerful. And the Aspire, it's the level of not just talent but professionalism. Speaking of Payne trying to run a professional show for 1105 days, looks like we'll have to try it again at 1106. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Things like I opened the show, my quote open was not Trico-esque. Even that you catch that it's those things that I'm really do work on eliminating. Go watch the game tape every once in a while and attempt to be better there. I'm not perfect. After 1100 shows, it is. I think why I like it. I mean, first and foremost, it's all of you. I keep them back every day because many of you I consider friends and family, and grateful for the support. And I enjoy having coffee with my friends and talking about things I'm passionate about. It's also something that it's a craft that is not ever evolving isn't the right way to put it, but one that I don't know. I can say probably with confidence that I will never get to the level of Tarico or SVP, not just reach and audience, but their talent is one that they've both honed for decades. And I will say, if I do get to that level, it will be decades from now, because it is just, I'm sure there's some natural talent and gift of gab or whatever you want to call it, but it's also as someone who's been a professional speaker most of my adult life, not that I did paid gigs, but I believe one of the reasons I've been fortunate to have really high performing sales teams, and why I was able to lead a national franchise to, number one in category and a top 100 global franchise, was largely because I wasn't out there fixing phones or selling phones. I was a decent communicator, and especially getting us through COVID. I think a lot of those I've shared previously. We went from monthly update calls with our franchise network to daily network update calls, and I think that sort of stuff has played a big role in the corporate, the career success I've had. All that to be said, I share that not to pat myself on the back, but rather I know I'm far from perfect, and it's something where, while in my life I desire to get better day after day. I want to be better today than I was yesterday. I want to be better this week than I was last week. Certainly I want to be better this year than I was last year, knowing that I'll have dips along the way, but continuing to strive to be better is something very important to me. And this is something that, while might be easy to do and be in something I feel like I am somewhat natural, easy to do, extremely hard to be perfect, extremely hard to be the best in the world. And that to me is fun, and something that always, Outer talking about it earlier this week on, your life and extending your life. And it's something where it's always different, yes, but it's also, again, very challenging to master. So I'll end my rant with that. Appreciate you listening. And if some of you like, Dort loves the cold open, others not so much. I guess if you don't like it, you don't have to tune in. Actually, you do need to tune in till at 8:01. Smash that like button, the repost, the bookmark, all that stuff, and then just throw it on mute or listen to another video or song for a while. I will say this. I've been seeing this power token, something gaming. The other thing I saw some takes on Flow. I saw that their NFT market, just the NFTs on Flow, the floor prices of all the NFTs are 2 times the value of the market cap of Flow, the token. Something seems mispriced there. I don't know what it is, but something, I don't know if it's the NFTs are too much or the token is too little, but something seems a little off. We definitely don't have our guests or sponsors come on before 8:30. That is for sure. Since we got, I guess, 4 minutes, but our cold open is supposed to run 5 to 10 minutes, not 26. So I digress. I'm catching up with some news here. I actually do have several news topics, market related, but also wanted to make sure I'm not missing anything in breaking news. Let me ask you this. If someone sees the ZachXBT expose drop, please pin me or please tag me, alert us, because I definitely don't want to miss that. I definitely want to make sure we cover that with ample time. I think I may, before we jump into market update, I'm going to at least cover where the current results are at from Polymarket. Then we'll jump into markets, and then we'll come back to this when we get some news, or if we don't have news before, say, 9:45 or so, we might just wrap up with thoughts here. I am curious. Let me know in the chat. Who do you think it is? Is it Axiom? Is it Meteora? Other is now third at 13%. So no one listed. I think that would be surprising because there's simply just not that many profitable crypto companies. The real winners probably were those that bought no for World Liberty Financial on day one. It started out, I can't even see this chart. Can you zoom into these charts? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. What's really interesting is Other used to not be on this.
It was added late, right?
Other was added yesterday at like 11:30.
Wow, that is really interesting. And it's already got 675,000 volume.
Yeah. So like that to me was surprising that Other was not on there, because I was watching this from like the moment it came on. And so I'm in on Other. I hope it's nobody on this list. They kind of named a shit ton of people, so it's a risky $90 bet.
I think I'm in on Other as well because it jumped up so quickly after not being listed, and I'm not trading this market. I'll paper trade it, but I'm not trading it because it's a known outcome, and not only does Zach know the outcome, he said he interviewed people on the team. Like there's multiple people in the know of what the result is here. And I just don't like betting on predetermined outcomes. Recently, if you missed it in the news, a Mr. Beast cameraman got slapped with insider trading, got fined by Kalshi. I don't know if there's going to be any charges or anything come out of that, but I didn't even see what it was. I'm guessing Beast Games or...
I would imagine it was something with Beast Games or so. It was over YouTube videos. So it was obviously some outcome of something that Mr. Beast done. This guy's a cameraman. He filmed it. I guess, I don't know. Tell your cousin about it or something. You don't do it on your main account. I mean, if you're going to do it, it's still. Yeah. That's the problem with these prediction markets is insider trading is going to be wild.
Especially when it is a predetermined market. It's not like Bitcoin 5-minute chart or, who's going to win the next presidential election. It's people are in the know. People know what the outcome is. It's like, well, who's going to be the Bachelor this year? Well, there's at least, a few dozen people that know that answer. Maybe none of them trade on it, but there's odds. There's likely that some do, and I am. It's just I don't have interest in trading markets with predetermined outcomes like this one. That said, I'll talk about it. I will paper trade it, and actually, let me get to the correct chart here. There we go.
It's just wild that Axiom came out of nowhere. Like, I mean, it didn't come out of nowhere. It was always up there in like the top 5, but now for it to jump over Meteora at such a high percentage, I was worried about doing other, but I mean, it's all a matter of public sway, and somehow Axiom started getting a sway on X, and then it jumped above Meteora. You know,
this might be the biggest. Not the biggest. This might be a big W for prediction markets as well. If this ends up being right, if it ends up being Axiom, it'd just be another feather in their cap that markets are powerful. Markets are predictive. And it's now, since we've been talking, it's went from 35 to 39%. If you're not on video, which by the way, you can find up top from X or YouTube or Abstract, Axiom's at 39% on $6.5 million of volume. Meteora is second now at 23%. Other is 13%, Pump Fund 8, Robinhood 5, Mexi 3, Binance 3, Bybit 2, Moonshot 2, and then it goes into all the 1%ers. OKX, World Liberty, Coinbase, Upbit.
But help me make sense with Axiom. Axiom doesn't make sense. Axiom is literally a platform for traders to trade on. They don't launch coins. There's nothing of that nature there. So unless they're running a game on referral systems and they're cashing out in some which way that way, how is Axiom going to be exposed for insider trading? That doesn't make sense. Like if it is Axiom, I'm ready to queue up my loot referral code and quote tweet the shit out of whatever's going on. But I just don't see how a trading bot can be insider trading. I don't get that.
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't either. What can anyone explain that? Like how could, I mean, there's got to be some merit to it. Otherwise it wouldn't be.
The only thing I see is referral systems, but that's just what happened. Like we never know like whoever came out with BullX, they had to start shilling it somehow. So those referrals that were onboarded by the team or by the brand or whatever, like even on Abstract, you have loot trading. And if you click on the loot link on the Abstract portal, the referral is tracked from Abstract. So whether or not Abstract gets all the money from the people that click on the portal link, and then all those referral monies goes to Abstract, I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. And like the only thing I can kind of see there is that Axiom, you know, is just getting money off referrals, unless Axiom is somehow manipulating charts on their platform, which they can't do that because they all integrate TradingView and, you know, things of that nature. So like, I just don't see how Axiom could be there.
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know either. I don't know what they would be. What would they be insider trading? Because I'm not on Axiom. I assume there was some sort of token launches or some maybe listings. Could that be it?
No, because Axiom is just an aggregator. That's all it is. It's no different than any other trading platform that you use.
Now I feel like
I don't get that.
Now I feel I should go bet no on Axiom to try to win back my lunch that I just lost. I did get liquidated on the GUI short.
You ought to see the wick going up on that thing. I was watching
it. Last candle got me. It's okay. I know the game I was playing, and I did not go too hard with it. But now I need to. The BTC long needs to pay off for me, and go hit that ref link up top. Help me earn back my my lunch that short just cost me. I don't know why. Like I dislike the L more because I'm right. Like I'm certain I'm right. I just was too early, and that's what eats me. It's not the amount of money. It was not a material amount of money. It eats me that I'm right, but a scam pump got me. Like no one who's buying this. Who's buying this to give that candle over there? That it's just it's the team or a market maker. Again, I knew this, but this token is not a $350 million token. I'm certain of it. And the candle keeps ripping up, by the way. GG's to the market makers.
Do you see the wick last night at like, what was that, 10:30? It went from, what was that, 280 all the way up to 390.
Just stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, or smart, I guess. There's people making money on this. This is the wiki's talking about last night. Ripped from 290 all the way up to 330, 369, 376. And then you saw the sell-off, obviously. And then, this one here just got me. Whatever. It says, Phonics also says they could be vamping all tokens that catch any volume, insider trading bots that give you bad fills, etc. That's a few options Axiom could do. I need you to expand on that if you could for me, Phonics. If you want to join the stage, you're more than welcome. If not, if you don't mind just explaining in the chat.
Can you reread that one more time?
He says they could be vamping all tokens that catch any volume, insider trading bots that give you bad fills, etc. That's a few options Axiom could do.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Having their own bots manipulating charts that are high volume, I can see that. Sniping supply and then feeding stuff right back into it. But that's more of a broader market manipulation, not, I mean, I guess so.
Like I go, when we say it's an aggregator, unless I don't know. This isn't my area of expertise. And
it depends what coins they support. So if it's just Sol coins on Axiom, I don't use Axiom. If it's just Sol coins, then that's what you're going to be able to trade over there. If you're on a platform that has Sol, ETH, Base, everything, then yeah, I mean, you can have bots set up on all chains that you support and manipulate as much as possible. But at the same time, you're not only going against your users, you're going against the broader market. And I would think there would be easier ways than trying to have bots that are, sandwiching transactions or scalping or doing things like that. I think there'd be easier ways to earn some money rather than doing that. But I don't know. I know those bots are very expensive.
Speaking of bots and inorganic charts, I just Googled scam charts. Or inorganic volume, inorganic price action, and this is what it showed me. This GUI chart here. Like I don't like. I'm not a technical analysis by any means. I don't. It's not something you're going to tune into Coffee with Captain for. But when I see a non-organic chart that is just being like, this isn't even market makers, because they're smarter than to make a chart look like this. This is about the most inorganic price action I've seen in a minute. And yeah, just whatever. I guess crime is now illegal, and it's not even crime. Probably I'm probably being too harsh, but maybe a little salty because the last green candle got me. This is also why you don't do 40x leverage on something that's getting scam pumped like this, because it doesn't take much. One wick like that can wipe out the position. Anyways, we're going to move on. I don't have anything else to. Although I would say, I think the real actionable insight here is, if you do have some of that token available to claim, I think you probably want to get it claimed and sold on one of those. Don't sell it after they sell off. Sell it after they scam pump the chart. And I'm betting it's not. I wish I could short it. Like, I should just use lower leverage. Like a week from now, the next time the claim window opens, I would be shocked if it's at 330, 360, 360 FTV. It's just stupid. Compare it again to other tokens that are like, even ApeCoin, $100 million, has a whole other side world it's powering. Pingu. Team, Luca and team, on the sphere and taking that stuff worldwide. It's basically almost the same, closing in on the same market cap as Pingu. Just silliness. And by comparison, there's 850,000 holders of Pingu. There's like 4,000 GUI holders, and most of those will be selling as soon as they can unlock their tokens. Yeah, now it's up to 6,300 holders, but just whatever. These are the games we play here sometimes. I
think a lot of people forgot about it. And unless they're in spaces like yours or seeing posts or something like that, because when you go to the claim, and I don't know if you can go to that claim site and show everyone on stream, but when you go to that claim, the claim token button, which you won't see because you don't have nothing on stake, it was so light, like you could barely even see it. And the stake and claim was like stake and like claim and restake was lit up, big and black, bold. But right underneath it, I actually had to call one of my friends and be like, "Where's the unstake button?" Because I couldn't see it, and it was so light and it's blended into the white background. So that was kind of scammy. I'm like, let people unstake clearly. Like, a lot of people would see it, get frustrated, and not find it, and just restake it. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, we even actually Dort found the address of that is just doing botted buys. Anyways, I guess good on them for giving people an exit and a chance to exit on the claim. Whatever. This is a part of crypto I don't necessarily love, but it is certainly part of the space. Dwayne asked, "Are y'all using a VPN for GUI? It let me claim and stake initially, but now it won't let me. Can't unstake or claim." Yeah, just everything about this, from the pre-claim to the claim and the forced stake, and this, it just feels dirty. But what is what it is. Go get your. And I think I saw like decent amount of. You might have like $150 there. Brickadall says GUI does have a full listing on Coinbase with 1.8 million. Volume. There may be more to it because Coinbase would not go in for scam coins, would they? I don't know. Scam listings can be bought. I think they definitely can be bought with Binance. I think also with Coinbase. And I mean, they know what they're doing. I will say that, like they know what they're doing. It's very, I don't know what to call it. Like I guess I can appreciate the whole forced claim, and then your claim window's only open for 24 hours. If you miss it, like, feels pretty dirty, but I get it. I get it for price action. I get it for supporting the floor. It just doesn't feel great. Dort says it probably locks again at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's when the claim opened yesterday. I guess good on them for giving people extra opportunities throughout the day. I rushed out thinking an instant zero. And I think Cheese has brought up another good point is, because it was a 30-day stake and it wasn't like thousands of dollars for most people, you're looking at like probably $50 to $150. I think a lot of people just forgot about it, even those that claim, because they're not, and they're not like promoting, go claim your stuff. It's almost like, forget about it. Let the let's not let them get out. And
they haven't tweeted about it from either the main page on X or the foundation. They haven't said anything about it.
Wild. I did see I know this isn't market related, and I promise we will get there. Intergym, there's a video. I'm going to pin it up top. You can go watch it later. I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to derail the show with another video, but it was pretty funny. It's like an old version of Elon and Sam Altman and Bezos, and they are basically, the TLDR is humans lost their sense of purpose, and so this gym called Intergym is going to power people that lost their jobs, can now power the robots that took their jobs and give them a sense of purpose. It's silly, but it's why RAM costs $1,000 for a stick of RAM now. Anyways, if anyone does see the ZachXBT thing drop, let us know. I would like to get into that.
It just dropped, actually.
Oh,
I sent it in your DMs.
Hey, we're gonna delay market update then. You want to share who it was? Oh, it was Axiom. So we're gonna find out why.
Shit, I just lost money.
We both, brother. It's been an expensive coffee. Coffee was a little more expensive today. We used to joke around on here. Steve and I used to have reverse sponsorships. We would shield bags of brands or NFT collections that we didn't hold or didn't have any sponsorship with, and we'd pump those brands without having any sort of exposure. And we're now just getting liquidated and betting wrong on prediction markets. I will say this, as I said earlier, another W for Polymarket, another W for prediction markets being right on. It'd be wild if this Brooks Bauer, the first person he tags here, also went and voted yes on Axiom and won money on his insider trading via prediction market. So here's the post. I got it pulled up on screen. I'm going to read this whole thing in detail because this is probably will be the lead news of the day. Zach's original post had over 11 million views. Over 30 million was on that prediction market. And here is, and then everyone who bet in that 8 to 9 o'clock hour, they also go cash your tickets if you got in on that one. He opens, meet Where's Brooks? Brooks Bauer, one of multiple Axiom Exchange employees allegedly abusing the lack of access controls for internal tools to look up sensitive user details to insider trade by tracking private wallet activity since early 2025. There's a couple screenshots included here on Where's Brooks. I guess this is his Discord, and then his X, which says Team Axiom DM for partnerships. Zach goes on to say, Axiom is a crypto trading platform founded by Mist and Cal in 2024 after going through Y Combinator's winter 2025 batch. It quickly became one of the most profitable companies in the space, generating $390 million in revenue to date. I was retained to investigate allegations of misconduct at Axiom after receiving reports. So someone paid Zach to do this report. Interesting. Axiom's founders, Henry Zhang and Preston Ellis, Axiom, a gateway to DeFi. And he shows the DeFi Llama report, key metrics, 152 million in fees. Last 30 days, over 12 million in fees. Last week, 2.5 million. Last 24 hours, 361 million. Cumulative fees, $389 million. Now he breaks down the investigation. Brooks is a current, I think his reign there probably ends today. I'd open a long on that Brooks will be relieved of his duties at Axiom within the next 24 hours. I'd go 50x long on that one, actually. Brooks is a current Axiom, back to Zach. Brooks is a current Axiom senior BD employee based in New York. I don't think New York's probably either where you want to be doing this sort of stuff. In the clip, Brooks states that he can track any Axiom user via ref code, wallet, or unique identifier, and he claims he can find out anything to do with that person. He also describes researching 10 to 20 wallets initially and slowly increasing over time so it does not look that suspicious. In a separate clip from the same recording, Brooks sets ground rules for how to request lookups from him and then says he'll send a full list of wallets. The recording is a private call of the group members strategizing. I'm going to play it in real time.
So I'll explain how this will be in your use case. Obviously, Seb will have it eventually. But the thing, how this works really, is that if you have a wallet or a ref code or a user ID, any of those three, I can find out anything to do with that person. If they're on Axiom, I'll have all their wallets. I have everyone. I'll have time and dates. I can even see who they track and what they're named. Yeah. So, obviously,
time to farm the farmers.
Now we can't fucking wake up tomorrow morning and start swinging. I can probably research about 10 to 20 wallets each day, and then over a staunch period of time, I'll slowly increase it. That way it doesn't look that sus. Because I don't really research that many wallets as it is. However, I'll get into the habit of doing so.
Yeah.
All
right. Zach's post goes on to say, in April of 2025, Brooks shared a screenshot from an internal Axiom dashboard displaying private wallets for the trader Jerry. In August 25, Brooks sent a second image showing the registration and connected wallets for trader Monex. In August 25, Brooks discussed lookups of Axiom users who traded the meme coin Aura. The group created a Google Sheet compiling wallets from multiple KOLs, mapping out wallet addresses, gathered the data obtained via internal Axiom dashboard by Brooks. Multiple KOLs named in the sheet or in leaked screenshots were contacted and independently confirmed the accuracy of the wallet data attributed to them. One of the target KOLs was Marcel, a trader with a poor reputation for using his followers on X and Telegram as exit liquidity. He was targeted due to buying large portion of the token supply for meme coins, known as bundling, from private wallets before promoting them to followers. Traders like Marcel are prime targets for this type of abuse, since the address reuse is less common and private wallets are rarely public, which makes privileged information more valuable. Brooks' main wallet, identified via messages sent in private chat, and all directly related, the addresses were graphed out. Due to the high volume of meme coin trades tied to related addresses, pinpointing high confidence examples of insider trading from his wallets alone is difficult without Axiom's internal logs to review the timing of trades placed. And he lists the address here with funds primarily flowed to the following sex deposit addresses. Along with Brooks in the call is his close friend Gono, Seb, a recently hired moderator at Axiom. In the first clip, Brooks alleges Ryan, another Axiom BD employee, has used the internal dashboard to look up users on behalf of others, and that he helped get his friend Mystery hired at Axiom as a moderator. In the second clip, Brooks discusses how Gono's responsibilities will grow over time and states that he can eventually help conduct lookups. Neither Ryan nor Mystery is present in the recorded call. During a February 26 recorded call, Brooks outlined a plan to help Gono profit $200K quickly by abusing his access at Axiom, which is consistent with similar illicit activity he had been conducting with others since early 25. In private chats, he also shared screenshots of his exchange balances, suggesting the scheme had already been generating returns. He shows, here's one with, looks like a Coinbase screenshot of 200 grand, and then another 90K in Bitcoin at the time. I was retained to, this is Zach goes on to say, I was retained to independently investigate alleged misconduct at Axiom, and these findings are the result of the investigation. Earlier today, I reached out to the Axiom team for comment. Their statement is attached. Regardless of whether Cal or Mist were aware, there is little to no monitoring or access controls in place to mitigate this abuse from happening in the first place. The extent of data granted to employees is easily accessible dashboard, and an easily accessible dashboard is unusual for BD roles, including a user's entire wallet list with date and time, the wallets they are tracking, transaction history, nickname of wallets, and linked accounts. Given Brooks is based in New York, I think the case presents itself a good opportunity for the Southern District of New York. It's exactly what I was alluding to earlier, since it may fall within their jurisdiction. Yeah, like you shouldn't do this anywhere, but Southern District of New York is probably not where you want to be doing this sort of stuff. Whether or not criminal charges are filed, I hope the Axiom co-founders further investigate the abuse and consider taking legal action against employees involved. Here is the Axiom official statement. We are surprised and disappointed to hear someone on our team abuse internal customer support tools to look up user wallets. We've removed access to these tools and will continue to investigate and hold the offending parties responsible. This does not represent us as a team. We've always tried to put the user first. We'll share updates on our Twitter as we learn more. Help me out real quick. What's the Axiom? I assume Axiom has a token. If so, what's the ticker? Does anyone know?
No, I think there's supposed to be an airdrop coming for them. But to my knowledge, Axiom has not yet dropped it.
What do we think? Jesus, you were questioning how could it be Axiom? How would they insider trade? It wasn't that they were, I mean, whether they were insider trading on Axiom or not, they were using my TLDR here, and feel free to explain it another way if you think something hits better. But the TLDR is essentially they were using customer information, private wallets, and then identified KOLs, in particular ones who were known for bundling meme tokens, dumping on their
and
followers,
making massive money. I mean, yeah, bro, if these guys, if Frank had a wallet over there and they knew it, and Frank would, or just, I mean, any of these big traders, like, you were able to make some serious money by following and manipulating charts, or even just jumping in. Like, having that internal data is pretty big shit.
Yeah, and I'm certainly, don't take this out of context. I am not condoning this activity. I'm not defending Brooks. I just want to throw out like I'm just saying a question. how is what Brooks and I know the answer, but I'm just asking I guess attempt to straw man the other side. How is what Brooks was doing different than copy trading? Just putting a bot on these wallets.
I don't, because some of these guys have other private wallets inside of there. So like when you create an account, you can create multiple wallets inside of Axiom or inside of any trading platform. You can create other wallets that other people might not be aware of. So you'll have your main public wallet. Okay, Cheese bought this coin. He's tweeting about this coin. This is his wallet. Everybody's tracking that wallet, but nothing ever moves from that wallet. But there's 4 other wallets that are on his same Axiom account, on my same Axiom account, that I'm actively trading, dumping. I had a large supply or whatever. And nobody can verify if that's my wallet, but it's a suspicious wallet. It's selling, it's buying, it's whatever it's doing. Normal people wouldn't be able to track that as long as it didn't interact with the main wallet. So if the team could see he could obviously see all the sub wallets within an account. You see what I mean? So like if one of these big traders that make loads of money have 5 other wallets, he can track those wallets that other people wouldn't have access to. So maybe that's the way he was doing it, and then trading off of that data, giving it to his friends, giving it to, you know what I mean? So then you were able to copy trade some of the wallets that were actually making the money.
Exactly. You know, one of the screenshots here says registration wallet, then it shows 4 connected wallets. And yes, the KOL. Can we come up with a new name for KOLs or an additional name? Well, I guess we have influencers, we have KOLs, and we need a cleaner acronym for those that aren't the KOLs that do this sort of activity. You can see one on here is Frank. You got here's a list of here's the spreadsheet. You got Urus, Suppress, Xander, Solobit, GRX, Exxon. I don't know. I know Marcel they mentioned, Frank, GCR, NYN. Like they've got wallets, they've got active wallets, what they're trading, and I'm not calling any of these individuals out, but what they will do is in these they'll go buy on a public wallet, and then they're using their non-public wallets to sell and dump on their followings after they promote the token. So they got a large following, they go buy, their followers can follow them in. There are bots that will copy trade. I'm not blaming Frank for any wrongdoing here, but people will copy trade Frank. I also think Frank just closed one of his accounts yesterday. I don't know. I saw a
he moved all of his funds off of FOMO, which is another trading app, because people would get mad when he sold, and it was just a lot of bullshit. And that's the thing that I always say. It's like, even reverting back to NFTs, and you see Tima, he holds 215 Del Mundos. If he starts selling those Del Mundos from his main wallet, then it's going to cause fear within the community. People are going to try and start front run it, and the floor price is going to start dumping. So like, while that's great that he did buy those NFTs, he always says, I'm a trader, I'll dump, I'll sell, I'll do whatever I want to do. I'm here to make profit. But at the same time, I think he kind of hinders himself, because it's like, okay, well, just go buy 30 from your main wallet and buy the others from alt wallets if you think this is going to do something, so you can sell without people riding your ass for making money. And that's the bad thing about this space, is so many people pocket watch that, when you do want to sell. So in my opinion, like, Tima is kind of locked in on these 215 Del Mundos, and he's sitting on, a crap ton of ETH that he would get static for if he started selling.
Yep. Makes it hard.
It does.
Because I don't think Tima doing anything wrong. He's supporting a collection. He's bought it up. I've seen multiple times he gets fudded when he sells from a collection. He's a trader. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like round trip everything? Like, you need to take profits, and because
he's sitting on 18.7 ETH of value, $38,000 of these things. And he actually sold 6 because he's down to 209. I'm looking. But that's the bad thing, is like, this guy's sitting on $38,000, money that could change your life, and It's wild. So yeah, I mean, this is good to uncover. And
I think it's good to uncover. Like, and hey, did Axiom do anything wrong or not? I don't know. I'm not a judge and jury here. Per Zach, they don't. It's not necessarily normal for them to give someone in BD all this information or have access to all this information. Mesh in the abstract chat says, sounds like Brooks was Robin Hood, stealing from the KOLs.
Even if you have access to this, you are in power of you are supposed to be a trusted team member that does not expose that data. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, obviously CEOs of every company has data on everything.
Yes.
And you don't see them exposing that. It's the same thing as Mark Zuckerberg selling everybody's data and being investigated by Congress.
Yep.
It's those types of things where you are in a power of trust. You're in a position of trust, and then you break that trust. Now, Axiom has to figure out a way to ensure their community that no one else here is being nefarious and using your data in a bad way.
Exactly.
And this goes back to privacy coins and privacy trading, and it opens the door to more security in the space.
Yep, exactly. I would think it's probably very real that this does far more damage to Axiom than Brooks and friends made on this, profited off this activity. They've eroded trust. Like I've not traded on Axiom, so I'm not taking any business out of there. But if I was, it's personal identifiable information. Like there is, like, whether he faces criminal charges or not, like this is a big no-no. And my understanding of just because I know what like legal and from not even crypto, just normal corporate companies and the amount of like security and measures they go to make sure you're not sharing personal identifiable information, not like things like even email and address, like things that you just shouldn't be sharing. You may have access to because of your role. You definitely can't be sharing it with others. And I think so. Even if there's not funds involved, even if there's not that sort of malicious activity and profits being made, and here it clearly was. It seems like not only was he making profits on front running some of these trades, likely selling this information to others, and that's a big no-no. I think I would not be surprised if Axiom does end up getting hit with some fines, potentially some charges. I don't know. I don't know how this thing plays out, other than definitely is a ding in their reputation and their trust. Also, Dort, I thought the same thing when Jesus was saying Tima. I did confuse. My first thought in my brain was Timos, and I'm not sure if it's Tima or T. I've been pronouncing it
TMA.
I've been pronouncing it TMA as well. Yeah. So, not the infamous Timos, but
no.
Yeah, this is
poor girl who bought that fucking NFT.
This is
that would have weeped it.
This is I think it's good not just for that this comes out, that hopefully this stops this sort of activity at Axiom. It's also a good reminder, like when we say platform risk, it's more than just they might have an exploit, your tokens might go to zero, your account balance might go to zero. This is, you're giving a lot of information to these platforms when you link your wallets, especially if you link your wallet, you link your social, you link your email, you KYC, and now they have your address. Like it is important to be working to be using credible, trusted providers and platforms in this space. And I second that. Steph is awesome club member. This is the one who bought that ape we're referencing. Navigated it very well, better than anyone else could. There's definitely some deep lore there, and you could WETH it, or you could lean into it and be create some new lore off of something that you could argue there's some added value in something that has such deep lore, good, better, and different. But
bro, I've got a friend. Carson, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I have a friend that owns his old PFP, and we were talking. He was shopping for apes, and he's like, "Man, I really want an ape that's going to make some noise. I want to get more eyes on Creeps, and some other brands that he holds. And he's like, I want to make some noise with a good looking ape. And then I wake up the next morning. He sends me the picture of the ape he bought. And I'm like, oh shit, that's Carson's. What happened? And then Carson forgot about a loan and this and that. And then it's like he still owns it. And I'm like, I was like, man, that's, just crazy shit happens. But Carson seems like a great guy, but it's just another story of, a reputable, well, I mean, not T-Moss, but a recognizable ape going in other hands.
Yep, for sure. I random, but I think we were talking. So it was on another show. We were talking about Mega Mutants the other day. I'm pretty sure Carson is one that got a Mega Mutant vial when Mutants minted. If you missed it or you weren't around when Mutants minted, it was so every holder of an ape got a vial that was you basically your ape drank it and it became either an M1, an M2, or you could have got a Mega Mutant vial, and there was 15 of those in total. And then after the 10,000 vials were distributed, they did a Dutch auction for the other 10,000 mutants. And yeah, individuals literally flipped those vials for 7 figures. I'm not sure what Carson sold his for, if it's the same Carson we're talking about.
I think it was 7 figures.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah, he had the old Deathbot skin. Yeah.
Yeah, take me back. Phonics adds, whether it's Axiom or BullX or Photon, Loot, Rhythm, etc., all these terminals are the same. They all promise a token in the future and never deliver. And I'm sure do the scammiest stuff that they can because they know their time is limited. I'm not, not naming any names. I don't know, that those are just the ones listed, but it is, again, just doubling down on the value of credible, trusted platforms, protocols, and what sort of due diligence are they doing when they're hiring people, when they're bringing the team on? Like, you say, oh, this isn't Axiom's fault. Well, this seems like it was going on for a while. And if Zach could have caught it, like, I don't know, like I would question, why does a BD person have access? Like, they're supposed to be doing partnerships and outreach. Why do they have access to all this customer information? They shouldn't have that access.
Yeah, somebody had to let Zach know. Zach can't find this one. He wouldn't have found this just on chain.
Oh no, he made it sound as like someone hired him to do this. Like someone was made aware of this. Whether we're probably never going to know, but like whether it was someone that this Brooks character reached out to and said, "Hey, I've got this information. I sell you to you," and they're like, "I'm not playing that game," and they turned it over to Zach. Or but no, Zach inferred that he was commissioned to do this. Someone hired him to do this investigation, and this is what he found out. I'm guessing it was someone that was on that call, right? Like, how did that recording get out? Someone that was on that voice recording that caught him red-handed. Someone rolled on Brooks. Good. Let's eliminate the bad actors. Let's clean this space up a little bit. Circling back to Gui real quick, I saw the screenshot because I didn't have it earlier, but you mentioned this, Jesus, is unstaking your Gui. It's real big. Unstake and restake is bright bold, and then hidden below that, but barely visible, unstake and withdrawal to wallet. It's also like hilarious that they're asking people in some cases to lock up for 4 years. Don't do that. If you want to roll it forward, do it like maybe another month. You're probably that is aggressive, I would say, but 4 years is absolutely. I don't care if they promise you a million % APR. It's a 1,000,000% of zero is still zero. Happy Thursday. I was not. I did not think we'd actually get this, despite what the Polymarket said. I did not think we would get this in time for the show. But I also wonder now that Axiom obviously went up to 99.9%. I wonder if what drove it to that 37% was Brooks and people realized they had been caught. Because to your point, if you didn't know, why would you be betting Axiom? I'm guessing, or I don't know. That's interesting to me how these prediction markets are working, especially when it is already a known outcome. Einstein, GM, welcome to the stage. Take it whichever direction you'd like. Thoughts on Axiom, this ZachXBT expose, or anything else we've hit on this morning?
This is probably one of the worst epidemics of like just team mismanagement and allowment. I mean, like no one should have this much access, I guess, or maybe the people they work with, but I don't have much thoughts on it. I feel like it's pretty standard. This is something that could happen in anywhere, not just within Web3, but it's even scarier, having people have access. Besides that, man, space has been cooking, had normies burn yesterday. Also, DX Terminal just activated their agents, so now their automatic agents are trading into what would you call it? Inter-platform tokens that'll basically graduate within a month here. It's about 21 days, and then those will go public. If you kept up with that at all,
I did not. Also, real quick before we move too far along, Dort adds a milady PFP scamming. Nice. You said normies burned. Is that a one-time event, or is that remain open?
I'm going to say, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't keep up with this all day. I saw a lot of it going. It's so hard to keep up with that freaking chat. They get excited in there, but I think I DM'd you the post that Cirque put out yesterday. I'll go ahead and pin it to the top, but it basically went over the initial burn, and I think there will be multiple. It may even still be open. Let me go ahead and see what.
Doesn't look like too many burns. The total supply is still showing 9,700, 9,731. I think that started at 10,000, so a little less than 300 burnt on the. And when they say burned, it was you could burn multiple to get a custom PFP. Is that right?
So basically, the way that it works is each one of them has a set of pixels trait tied to the trait of the actual NFT. And as you burn them, they will basically be collected within other NFTs to kind of construct, a new NFT with a higher rarity.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, he was getting some FUD. Cirque was.
What for?
Well, because it turns out that these are not like, if you go look at Genuine Undead or you look at Chimpers, these are not true pixel generated images or drawn images. This is apparently AI art made to look like pixel art. And he confirmed that. So that's why I think you've seen the floor go down significantly. If you go to his replies, he talks to somebody called him out on it. And unless he deleted it, I'm trying to scan through it now. But somebody called him out on it, and he did confirm that these are, in fact, AI generated artwork. So do with that with what you will, and then I think whatever the prompt is or whatnot he's using for this burn mechanic, I think the AI just generates a new PFP based on the amount of pixels. Because basically you can burn 10 NFTs. If they all had 300 pixels on it each, all of those pixel amounts are added up to the new NFT, and it changes the rarity. It changes everything with inside of the NFT. And then it generates you a new image with that amount of pixels, is what it's supposed to do. So, yeah.
Interesting. This may not be a popular take. I don't take issue with the AI created art. Like it's,
neither do I.
I see a post here that as an artist, I have a responsibility to spotlight creators who think outside the box. NFTs aren't boring assets you can just buy and hold. They're like pieces of clay meant to be shaped, experimented with, and played with. That's what made this space so exciting. Listen, Sirkin, people don't even realize what they know yet. Normies are going to make it, and you too will, because you're exactly what the space needs right now. There's some experimenting. They're on chain. Like they evolve. You can do some. Is it revolutionizing NFT? No, but it's not just like low effort AI slop. Like there's something to it. I'm not the biggest fan of someone just going to launch a 10,000 supply collection of just AI generated art, but in this case, there's some, maybe novel is too strong of a word, but unique new mechanics, and I personally don't take any issue with it. I respect all the artists out there who are doing, hand done pixel art, but I think it's okay.
Yeah. If you go down to the 6-hour mark in his replies, that's where you can see it. He put a link out saying here are 3 docs about how the art is created. But he said it is generated by using AI pipeline. So yeah. I like it though.
Yeah, I don't mind at all. Like to your point, floor is down a little bit following the news. A couple hundred of those burn. Here is the Axiom. I read this earlier, but Axiom put out the tweet a few minutes ago. We're shocked and disappointed to hear someone on our team abuse internal customer support tools to look up user wallets. We've removed access to these tools and will continue to investigate and hold the offending parties responsible. This does not represent us as a team. We've always tried to put out our users first. We'll share updates on Twitter as we learn more. Cyborg. I mean, don't worry, in my opinion, everyone insider trades, nothing new in this space. That's part of the problem. I think like the reputational damage is yes to Axiom, but it's also like not great for the space. Like this sort of stuff is just, we're not serious people. We are, but some are not. And unfortunately, those are the ones that going to get a lot of attention and yeah, not great. Not great. On the brighter news though, we're going to talk majors. We're going to save that for the end. We'll talk Bitcoin. We'll talk ETH, maybe a little NVIDIA. But I do want to at least fly over the NFT landscape here briefly. Pudgy's up 0.5% to 4.5. Punks are flat, or actually down 2%. Hyper's up 4% or 0.4%. Excuse me. Stone Elon Age. I don't know. Probably a OpenSea farm there. Death and Taxes Citizens 0.03. Shout out to, I think Dort got some of those. Wouldn't be surprised. He's been crushing the NFT collecting game. Little Pudgy's up 2%. Normies, as we mentioned, down 39. Moonbird's down 0.7. Apes up 0.7. Quirky's on fire, up another 5%, closing in on 1 ETH, 0.97 ETH for Quirky's. They're winning the race to 1 ETH between Mutants, who are down 1% to 0.9, and Good Vibes Club up 6% to 0.88, but it appears that Quirky's might be the winner of that race to 1 ETH. It reminds me of the war on the floor back in the day. That was a lot of fun.
Shout out, well deserved to them. It's been a long time coming to reach back over that 1 ETH again for them.
Yep, for sure. I see the Meebits Football Group 1 up to 0.034. I meant to mint one of these yesterday and forgot, and they minted out. Mint price was not 0.034, if I'm not mistaken. But it's already ripped up. So love to see it. There was only 990 of these, and I did not have access when I looked on the show yesterday. It was still I think the team window, and I definitely was planning on grabbing some of those, and I missed out. Only 4% listed. Einstein, you were asking about Frankie's Diner. Is that right?
I wasn't asking about it, but I mean, I was definitely like putting it down there in the bottom for sure.
Do you mind if I would like to go refill my coffee? Do you mind tell us a little bit about Frankie's Diners, and then Jesus, if you don't mind filling any airtime, I'll be right back.
Yeah, of course. So Frankie's Diner, minted 3 years ago, kind of an OG project in the space. Currently it's ran by Maha, Joe the coworker, and Ferdinand the artist. Great project. It's been around for quite a bit. Now we're reaching into our second phase and second round of mints. It's an extension of the story, or I guess we're adding characters in and growing the world itself to actually include in the rubber hose style art and continue the story of Frankie's. That'll be on the 3rd. Mint price is going to be 69. We've been giving out token assets that people can use as a first come first serve. Currently we have Burn Open available on Frankie Hub. You can find that on the Frankie the Frog page. That burn will be open until we hit 5,000, I believe, or until Friday. If it closes, then whatever GTD spots aren't taken up will basically become first come first serve, which is the drumstick. The drumstick is the initial, the burn. You get the bone. You get a nice little funny image that says you got bone whenever you go in. So if you haven't had it or you've collected one in your time, I would definitely go get that done before Friday. And then from there it's we've got 8 different characters on it. We've got the beaver, the wolf, the ghost. What else? The gnome. I'm trying to remember all the ones that we have. We've got to see the gecko. That's my personal favorite. The gecko looks freaking sick. It's an awesome awesome art on that, and these are all done hand drawn by the artist Ford and Nan. So if anyone's interested, feel free to ask me questions, and I'll pass it off to Jesus to kind of fill the rest of the time.
Hey, appreciate you sharing, and thanks. Jesus, if there's anything you want to get in there, by all means. I want to let you know I am back.
Yeah, and I mean, I would love. I mean, I'm just kind of helping out the project as a community manager. I'm not any affiliation with the official team, but I know Maha's been itching to try to get up here and maybe come talk to you about it.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be back in touch, but definitely, I mean, they've been trending now for a few days. And did I hear you minted 3 years ago originally?
Yeah. The Genesis is about 3 years ago. What was it? 2023. Yeah. It's a 1069 for the original Genesis, was helped with Tony Babel and the current artist that we have on staff.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's another game on Abstract as well, Frankie Go, I think.
Yeah, and that's all going to be tied in through the hub now. You get basically, it'll kind of work as like an achievement level. So between the iOS game, the Frankie Go, and the collectibles, the digitals, like the NFTs and the nibblers that are going to be dropping, you'll be able to have that all kind of condensed into the platform and recognize all your holdings, all your achievements, and all your assets, even between them. Also, all your apples, all your tickets, everything that you got in Frankie Go, it's all going to be counted there.
Sweet. I appreciate you sharing. Thanks so much for jumping up. And speaking of Abstract, we've got some alpha coming over there as well. Our, Katie and Be Epic, some of the keeping us up to speed on all things Abstract. Be Epic adds new badge for upvoting apps on Abstract. Upvote 30 days in a row, get a badge. Looks like it started today. There was another.
Did they say a badge? I know you get 5% XP boost for maintaining an upvote for 30 days in a row. But there was already a badge for upvoting anyways. Like that was all you had to do was upvote once.
So per Be Epic, there's also an additional badge if you upvote 30 days in a row.
Nice.
You'll get a upvoting streak, I'm guessing, some sort of badge. And then he also adds ABX is the coin from Oborian liquidity provider. Tip for more XP is to LP on Oborian. This directly from Sigar's tweet. Congrats on the ETH buy yesterday, Be Epic.
They also put up more perks. So if you are a gold tier or above, there's different perks. You can get a guild pass for Roots of Ember Vault. Depending on what level you are at, you can get crowns inside of Tolan Universe as well. And then also, you're eligible to stream. It seems like they're trying to give perks and incentives for people to stay active daily, because Sigar did put that one main post out saying XP is now going to go from like the Web 2 games to basically you need to be active on chain. And that's where he mentioned the Oborian finance. He mentioned prediction markets, which the only one on there is Myriad. So things that you can do that create daily transactions is what you're wanting to do. You want to have those transaction counts up. And what little do people know, even when you go trade points on Myriad, points are on chain. These points are on chain. It causes a transaction. If you go in there and just buy and sell like 10 points of something, go look at your Abstract wallet and go look at the transaction history, and it will show an on-chain transaction of the point buy and purchase.
I need to appreciate the nudge there. I need to get back up. For a while, I was trying to do those daily, just get over there doing something daily. It's stuff like this. Like we talk about, what can you do that's low risk,
low effort, high return.
Low effort, low risk, little to no capital involved. In prediction market points on Myriad cost you nothing. And it is an on-chain transaction. Yeah, you can trade USDC over there, but it's one of those things like I had on my daily list and I just got away from. But things like that, like Ethos, like there's things out there that you can do with a little bit of your time, click a few buttons, and
Here's the thing, Cap. I got set in a daily routine, and it's like every morning I get up at 5 a.m. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm scrolling the timeline. I'm checking Telegram. I'm checking everything. And I take 5 minutes out of my day every day to make sure I go do something on Abstract. I go claim Myriad points. I check in on any of the things that I'm doing, and I do that every day without hesitation. And then they come out with this upvote streak. I usually upvote on Myriad every Monday so I can get the XP for upvoting. And I upvote every app in a row. So now I got to wait till Monday to get the 30-day streak started because I have no more shit to upvote because I upvote everything on the same day. So, which is fine. It is what it is. But that's the thing. It's like, how much time do you spend a day on this, on X or within Web3? Set a daily routine to just do these few things. It takes 5-10 minutes. You're engaging with multiple platforms, whether it's airdrop farming or anything, and then move on with the rest of your day. You know.
Good alpha. I agree. Yeah, I need to get back on some Myriad button clicking, and I mean, I am gold status on Abstract, so it would be silly not to take advantage of some of these perks now that they're introducing.
Yeah.
I hope it's not a little too late for the moves. I applaud them making some changes and doing some things differently based on some feedback, but I hope I still am looking for what's going to be their big flagship DApp, what's going to make things really move over there.
Yeah. I don't think it's too late. I honestly, I don't. And anyone that's not been on Myriad, when you go to Myriad and you create your account and you go to the Earn tab, if you do all of the things, all the tasks that are in there on the Earn tab, and I'm not talking about reading the articles because eventually you'll run out of things to do, but there's like 4 or 5 different sub things. There's Myriad, Decrypt, Rug Radio, Degens Live. Once you do all of those tasks, you end up starting off with like 550,000 points for free. And then every week when you upvote Myriad, you can go claim an extra 10,000 points on Myriad. So it's free points, free transactions, and it gets you some experience trading prediction markets where you don't have to risk USDC, but you're just using points. So just another little bit of alpha there, so you can get some stuff from them.
I mean, I'm shortening the title here so I can make it all fit. Axiom Insider. I haven't verified this yet. Thanks, Jorge or George, for sharing. This comes from MLM. The Axiom Insider made over 500K on the ZachXBT investigation. I'm going to call it an expose because investigation doesn't fit. I'll show you the Polymarket wallets here in a second. So when you're asking why did Axiom fly up out of nowhere, and we question, might it have been insiders? Here is the 2 wallets. So this MLM quote tweeted Zach's investigation and linked the 2 profiles. Here they are. Here is the first one. Will Axiom? Oh, this is one that lost. They voted no. Amount 1. Why does it say lost?
Well, because he could have voted. There was one guy that I think bought no based off of what one of the Axiom guys said.
Here is the other wallet. Will Axiom be accused of insider trading? Total traded 66,000. Amount 1 210,000. And then a second one got it at 79 cents. Or voted no. Wait.
Yeah, they voted no.
Oh, on Meteora. Voted no on Meteora. Sorry, I didn't read the whole thing. No on Meteora. Put 62,000 on that and won 78 grand. In total, about 300K on those 2. No confirmation, but new wallet, only 2 predictions. Whether it was Brooks or someone else, likely an insider. I don't know.
That's wild, bro.
It's wild, but it's not. It's wild, but at the same time, I expected it. Like, what? Is this the flaw of prediction markets when it's, I mean, could it have been someone that Zach interviewed, one of these KOLs? Possible. This is almost like, we don't know it's Brooks. We don't know it's a KOL. But we almost certainly know it was someone that was that they knew who Zach was going to call out because they made 2 predictions and it was all on this market, betting that it would be Axiom and betting that it wouldn't be Meteora, and made $300,000. Like,
yeah. I mean, bro, you can do the same thing right here. Will OpenSea launch a token by, and then it's March 31st, June 30th, September 30th, December 31st. Any person on the OpenSea team can go create an account, brand new, and bet on when it's coming. And March 31st is at 14% right now. And I have a big feeling they're going to launch. I'm not telling anybody to go buy it, but
well,
I still think they send this because of that Adam Hollander reply.
I think it's announced on the 30th. I don't know if they. So that's also, you need to read the fine print on all of these. Is what is
the resolution?
Yes, how's it actually being resolved? And that is yeah. Brooks funded his own severance package, possibly. Like this is a real hole in prediction markets, and I know the current U.S. administration is pro prediction markets, and one of the Trump sons sits on both Kalshi and Polymarket's board. Maybe we don't see any sort of regulation for the next few years. I just have a hard time believing something doesn't change here. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how, unless they prohibit things that have a known outcome. I don't like, how would you, if you're calling the shots at one of these prediction markets, how do you fix it? How do you fix the insider trading? It's funny.
You can't. There's no way to stop that unless everybody has to KYC an account. That's the only way you can do it. But you can go in and set up an account with MetaMask, Solana. It doesn't matter. So there's no way to stop that. It's like, if you have friends that, have that inside information and you get it, it's a matter of your morals. And I don't care who you are. Money is money. If you would have known about this early on and that it was 100% going to be Axiom, I don't see in a way that you do not take that information and run with it. Mario Nafal tweeted 19 minutes ago, a fresh wallet, insider traded Axiom on Polymarket. It turned $65,000 into $477,000 by picking up on Axiom at 13 cents.
I don't even know what to say. Like,
what would you do if Steve came to you and said, Cap, it's happening March 31st? Like, would you turn around and take 50 grand and go put it on OpenSea and do that? I see you shaking your head.
I wouldn't in that example. I wouldn't in that example because I wouldn't want it to come back to my friend. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not worth the money for me.
Yeah.
And further, Steve wouldn't do that. Like, of all the people, like he wouldn't do that. I say that with the utmost confidence in the world. But you pose a good, I guess, a moral, ethical question. Like, if someone came to me and said, "Hey, I'm in this investigation. It's Axiom." They've reached out to me. Zach reached out to me. It's definitely Axiom that he's investigating. I don't know. I mean, because there's also, like, I guess it comes down to how much do I trust the person? Like, are they?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing right now with Abstract. Abstract has one on here right now on Polymarket. Will Abstract launch a token by, and the only option is December 31st, 2026, through the end of the year. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. I think they do.
This is also actually, Thomas, this is actually a great suggestion. This is if I was running one of these prediction markets, this is probably one thing you could do to greatly mitigate it. It's going to make some people unhappy, but he says make fresh wallets, can only make a certain amount of capital or a certain amount of trades within. I would even extend it beyond 24 hours. Maybe you've got a $5,000 limit your first 24 hours, and then it's 25 grand after a month. I don't know I'd have to put more thought to it, but limiting what a fresh anonymous wallet can trade in their first day, week, month, etc., to where it's not worth the risk. Like, that could potentially, I think that would absolutely mitigate insider trading. If nothing else, it would mitigate the amount volume of insider trading, the dollar amounts of insider trading. Blue GM, welcome to the stage. Thoughts on this?
Hey, GM. Yeah, I think that another solution that people may not be too happy about, but human identification. So like using like a world ID type solution, or there's maybe like two or three other people or companies that provide that, but identifying and verifying like I'm a human, and then you can kind of trace that back to those companies. So let's not use Steve, but let's just say like person X is like, I work here. This is the inside information. You can kind of trace that back by using the verification.
Yeah, I mean KYC, human identification, all would work. It upset the crypto purist, those that are all for privacy. I just, outside of KYC, human verification, and something like this, what Thomas had to say, limiting what they can trade in their first 24 hours. Like I don't know how you eliminate it. A lot of people don't think that the OpenSea token is coming by the 31st. Could just be I don't know, frustrations. I think they announced it on the 31st. I don't think it drops in March, would be my guess. That's just my guess. I don't know anything. I truly don't know anything. Please don't take that. There's no reading between the lines. I don't know anything at all. Yeah, Diego liking the Myriad and the abstract farming. Diego or Diablito, not so much. I agree, Katie. It is a moral question, and I think also like define insider trading. If someone comes to you with a rumor, is that insider trading? I guess if they work at the place in question, then yes. I really like. I don't know.
I mean, you don't think Zach told his brother or his cousin or his sister or his mom or dad or like, hey, go put some money on this because this is who this is. Like, you think he just sits there in a locked up basement and doesn't talk to nobody?
Maybe I'm naive, but with Zach, I think I don't think he does, because of the type of work he does is exposing this sort of stuff, and therefore I don't know Zach. We've never communicated, but my read is that he would take the moral high ground and not capitalize on this financially, because it's just not. It would blow up most of his reputation for what he does. He's gonna like.
Yeah, I agree, but he's a very smart guy, and it goes back to like the Mr. Beast guy, and it's like the cameraman probably signed in with his fucking Gmail and then transferred it to his bank account. Somebody noticed it or seen it, and
Well, that's part of the other thing. Zach is not only a smart guy. He because he does this is what he does. If he were to do something like this, we'd probably never know, because he would cover his tracks. Not saying he did that. Please don't take that out of context. Do not clip that. Yeah, but I agree with Zane. He's not dumb enough to risk his entire reputation, his brand, on something like that. For like, he probably got paid, I don't know, 6 figures to even take this on and do the investigation. So it's like, I don't think he would have participated in that, but obviously others have. Others have, one person here very apparently traded on insider information to profit a few $100,000 on this thing. And
yeah. Now here's the next question, and I asked this. Yeah, I may have asked it in your space too, but yesterday in mine, with Clawbot and all these agents coming about, is there just going to be an entire company that does this, or does Zach integrate this with his research, or is there just going to be an easy plug-in agent that people can go do this and start capitalizing on that as well? Or is Zach just kind of cornered the market of doing this? Because I mean, he gets pretty big donations.
Mm-hmm. Someone posed a similar question. I think it was in the abstract chat this morning about will AI help fix this? Will AI help mitigate this out of what you just said by it's not just a Zach. You've got, hundreds, thousands of agents that can do the same thing. And therefore, if you've always got someone or a fleet of agents looking for this sort of activity, does that also mitigate it? Sorry, I'm not crediting whoever brought this up. I'm not seeing as I scan the chat, but yeah, I mean, I do think that here, teacher Katie, I'm not surprised. Do you think AI is going to help mitigate, going to help with mitigating these scams? I do. I don't know exactly how yet, but I do think there is sooner or later, there's going to be the agent versions of Zach that look for this sort of stuff. And not saying that will eliminate Zach's role or his brand or his ability to monetize what he does. But I think there will be maybe people will think twice before they do something like this because of, at every level, not just Zach looking for, the biggest bad actors, but you could have, a variety of agents that are, looking for even, doing this for, thousands of dollars, not hundreds of thousands of dollars. I do have a couple of other news items. We didn't get a whole lot into the market pump that was, whether it's Jane Street stopping selling or CZ stopping selling or the NVIDIA pump. Markets are cooking, and I hope it continues. In addition to markets cooking, Von Frutten's still out there. We got some I think exciting news out of the state of Indiana. I was not expecting, didn't even realize it was being discussed. But before I go to that state of Indiana news, I will hit on the market at a high level here. Bitcoin up 2% after a little bit of pullback, still 67,867. ETH holding that $2,061. Vitalik has still sold despite, and I don't take issue with Vitalik selling. He's one of the few people, we talked about it, I think when Outer was on the show. I think it's a hard time for taking profits and most of the time he's rotating it into other things. He has, ETH back above 2K. Most of the community spent watching Vitalik's wallet, which he's sold over 17,000 ETH this month. Is it over or more to come? ETH at, as I said, 2,062. And I do think that 2K mark, there's a little bit of a psychological level there, especially being off 50% off of August highs last year. Vitalik has sold 17,000 ETH. That's 43 million throughout February via cow swap. Converting it to USDC. The proceeds pledged to open source privacy and security projects, encrypted messaging, biotech, hardware verification. I say most are giving him a hard time. There are some people that see it as responsible treasury management, supporting other projects, etc. He's not, I don't think anyways, although he did mention real estate and real property, I don't think he's cashing out his ETH to go buy some mansions across the world. Rather, he's supporting other things that he's passionate about. I take no issue with that. ETH, again, it's only up 4 or 5% now. At one point, you would have saw like 7-8% up on the day. You're free to your own opinion there. But personally, I take no offense or issue with Vitalik selling some of his ETH. The other. I don't know if there's any other. Pippin I saw ripped up again. Most things green, not all. I wonder if we see a response now from World Liberty Fi as they were some shots taken at them early on with this expose. Fear and greed still in extreme fear. So 16 looks like we might pop out of extreme fear here soon. And with the result of this ETH and Bitcoin surge, it triggered 400 million in shorts getting liquidated. Not only that, not only was it number go up, biggest day we've had in a long time on ETFs, inflows, I should say. Let me just pull up Tyler's account here. I think that's where I first saw this. Tyler did it, shared. Bitcoin ETFs saw their biggest day of inflows in about a month with 507 million yesterday. ETH also a monster day with 157 million of net inflows. Maybe it's just a short relief rally. I think maybe things have turned. We talked, it is that 23 months from that all-time high. If you still believe in the 4-year cycle, that is another bullish indicator that it's not just a short-term relief rally, but rather things might be turning for the good. And just seeing if there's anything else. I know the Axiom / ZachXBT news took over the timeline this morning and derailed us a little bit. I was going to go a little deeper, but for the sake of time, not going to. I will share one other article on specific to the Jane Street thing. I thought it was well written, and let me just pull that up now. This came from Justin Belcher. I will pull up the post and share here. Justin, you could say Bitcoin Maxi maybe with his BIP 110 in his profile or his username, and then Bitcoin in the profile. But a good analysis here of what we're talking about. We say that 10 a.m. price drop or that 10 a.m. dump. It's entitled "How Jane Street Broke Bitcoin's Price." You might have seen this on the timeline. It did go viral with 4.5 million impressions. I'll pin it up top if you missed it. But I do think maybe it's not. I don't think it's the answer. I don't think it's the reason we're seeing a pump or the reason we're back. But I think it absolutely can play a part, and maybe one of the reasons that we are seeing some positive price action here today. He goes on to say Bitcoin should be at least 150K right now, and everyone knows it. Maybe not everyone, but a lot of people. Yesterday, a federal lawsuit was filed in Manhattan that explains exactly why it isn't. Let's connect 3 threads for the first time. A federal insider trading case built on a private group chat called Bryce's Secret, a pattern of systematic 10 a.m. sell programs that suppressed Bitcoin's price through late 2025, in an undisclosed derivative book that may make the largest Bitcoin ETF position in history a tool for suppressing the price of Bitcoin. All 3 threads lead back to one name, Jane Street Capital. As we mentioned earlier, if you're not familiar with Jane Street Capital, that's also where Sam Bankman-Fried and Caroline Ellison all came from Jane Street as well. Maybe just a coincidence. Maybe this is just how they move. The intern. It starts with an intern named Bryce Pratt. Pratt worked as an intern for Terraform Labs, a Singapore-based company behind the algorithmic stablecoin Terra USD and its token Luna. He left Terraform and joined Jane Street as a full-time employee in September 21. Jane Street is also where SBF learned to trade before founding FTX and Alameda. And many of his future colleagues came from the firm or intersected with its networks. According to the lawsuit filed by Terraform's bankruptcy administrator, Todd Snyder, Pratt became the bridge between his former employer and his new one through a group chat the court filings describe as Bryce's Secret. The lawsuit alleges that Jane Street used this channel to obtain material, non-public information about Terraform's internal liquidity moves. The critical moment came on May 7th, 2022, when Terraform withdrew 150 million in Terra USD from the Curve Pool, a decentralized trading platform that served as the primary liquidity hub for the stablecoin. Within 10 minutes of that withdrawal, before Terraform informed the public or made any announcement, a wallet linked to Jane Street pulled 85 million from Terra in the same pool. He shows those charts, and this combined selling pressure triggered the UST's break from the dollar. It depegged, and within days, Luna's algorithmic mint and burn mechanism spouted out of control, hyperinflating the token supply and destroying 40 billion in market value. Retail investors suffered catastrophic losses. Not only catastrophic losses, I mean, people ended up taking their own lives over this, like lost entire life savings. It was tragic, and led to the cascading effects of Three Arrows Capital and many others that were arguably over leveraged, but many. This was a literal black swan event. The lawsuit described the trades would have been impossible without inside information to which Jane Street had unique access. Jane Street calls the suit desperate and baseless, arguing the losses suffered by Terra and Luna holders were caused by Terraform's own fraud. Do Kwon, the founder of Terra Luna, is serving a 15-year prison sentence. Snyder has also filed manipulation of the same collapse, which suggests a systematic investigation into institutional conduct during Terra's death spiral rather than just an isolated claim against a single firm. He goes on to say the clock, beginning in late 24 and accelerating through 2025, Bitcoin's price began doing something that traders noticed but couldn't explain. Every day at 10 a.m. Eastern, coinciding with the U.S. stock market open, Bitcoin experienced sudden and sharp sell-offs. The drops were precise, algorithmic, and widely disproportionate to the broader market conditions. They wiped out leveraged long positions, triggered cascading liquidations, and reversed within hours. Jane Happel and Yan Alleman, the co-founders of blockchain analytics firm Glassnode, documented these patterns through their shared account, Tropic. They tracked the algorithmic precision of the drops across months of trading data, and the pattern was not subtle. charts from December show Bitcoin falling from 89.7 to 87.7 within minutes of the 10 a.m. opening, erasing 171 million in long positions before recovering. That happened every day, day after day. James, and this wasn't like, it's connecting to Jane Street following their suit for the Terra Luna thing. But if you've been here, like, we've talked about this 10 a.m. sell-off for a while. Jane Street, a designated market maker and authorized participant for multiple Bitcoin ETFs, had both the inventory and the infrastructure to execute coordinated selling at scale during predictable liquidity windows. Selling into thin order books at the open would depress the price, trigger liquidation cascades among leveraged traders, and create buying opportunities at lower levels. The firm would then re-enter at the bottom of a move it had manufactured. Then something revealing happened. According to Glassnode's co-founders, the daily flash crashes ceased after that Terraform Labs lawsuit filings became public early last year. Bitcoin price stabilized significantly in subsequent trading sessions. The behavior change is consistent with what the firm had suddenly had legal discovery and depositions to consider. The 10 a.m. pattern resumed in Q3 of 2025. By December, it was back in full force. Basically, 10 a.m. dumps stopped the moment Jane Street had lawyers looking over their shoulders and started again when the heat died down. Then he closes here with the machine. He says Q4 of 2025 13F filing. Jane Street disclosed holding 20 million shares of IBIT worth approximately 790 million. The firm added 7 million of shares during the quarter alone, a 276 million increase. At one point last year, its total IBIT position valued nearly 2.5 billion. Simultaneously, the firm boosted its holdings of MicroStrategy by 473%, accumulating 951,000 shares worth roughly 121 million, even as BlackRock and Vanguard divested billions in MicroStrategy during the same period. This looks like bullish accumulation if you don't understand what Jane Street actually is. Jane Street is one of only four firms authorized to conduct in-kind creations and redemptions for IBIT. This is where it gets a little big brain, but this is important to understand, at least at the high level, how we talk, like, now that Bitcoin has entered the TradFi streets, one Bitcoin could be rewritten on paper 6-7 times. You end up getting 6 Bitcoin for one. And I'll continue reading here. The others are, he mentions the other firms authorized to do this. Jane Street is also an authorized participant for Fidelity and WisdomTree's Bitcoin ETFs. The rule gives the firm direct access to the mechanism that connects ETF share prices to actual Bitcoin. Jane Street can move real Bitcoin in and out of the ETF structure, arbitrage price differences between the fund and the spot market, and maintain inventory positions that dwarf what any normal market participant could accumulate. Basically, Jane Street has direct access to the pipe that connects Bitcoin ETFs to actual Bitcoin, and almost nobody else does. The crypto press reported that the 13F, as a sign of institutional conviction, the people who actually understood market structure immediately said otherwise, talking about the invisible book. Former hedge fund manager Michael Green called the bullish interpretation of Jane Street's 13F painful, pointed out that Jane Street's IBIT position is almost entirely offset by undisclosed options and future positions, and that they are certainly not accumulating a position in Bitcoin. That's how market making works. Former prop trader Ryan Scott was blunter, said anyone posting this as bullish is committing a capital offense. This should be you'll never guess who has offsetting derivative positioning that does not need to be reported. Nick Badia reduced it to incentives. Jane Street owns IBIT, so it can write options, arbitrage, and everything else as a quantitative trading shop, and everything else a quantitative trading shop does to make fast money. Here's what it means for every person who holds Bitcoin or IBIT. 13F filing discloses long equity positions. It does not require disclosures of options, futures, or swaps. I'm interjecting here. I would question why doesn't the filings require those disclosures? But that's for another day. When Jane Street reports holding 790 million in IBIT shares, the filing tells you nothing about whether those shares are hedged by puts, offset by short futures, or wrapped in a collar that makes the firm's net Bitcoin exposure zero or even negative. The public just sees accumulation. The actual position could be massive short that looks like a long because the offsetting half of the trade is invisible under the current disclosure rules. 13F is a photograph of one side of a balance sheet. Nobody outside the firm can see the other side. This is where the question every Bitcoin holder should be asking becomes unavoidable. If the firm holds 790 million IBIT shares and offsets that with a position of 790 million put options or short futures, the net exposure is zero. If the derivative book exceeds the equity position, the net exposure is negative, meaning Jane Street profits when Bitcoin prices falls. In either scenario, the firm has every incentive to use its privileged position as an authorized participant to suppress the spot price, trigger liquidations, and harvest the spread. What is Jane Street's actual net exposure to Bitcoin? The current disclosure framework does not require them to answer. Precedent, Jane Street conduct in Bitcoin markets has not been tested by regulators, but its conduct in other markets has. The SEC Board of India published a 105-page enforcement order against Jane Street for manipulating Bank Nifty index options. I believe this resulted in a they found that they used the market to generate approximately $4.3 billion in profits over a 2-year period, and that resulted in a pretty big fine. I think I saw it was like $420 million fine. We talked earlier about the hard cap of 21 million enforced by the network of sovereign Bitcoin nodes. That cap assumes price discovery is honest, that the market reflects actual supply and demand. And when institutions hold Bitcoin or Bitcoin adjacent instruments, their positions represent genuine exposure to the asset rather than raw material for derivative strategy invisible to every other participant. In other words, the 21 million cap only works if the market is sitting on top of it is honest. Jane Street is one of 4 firms with the keys to Bitcoin ETF's infrastructure. It faces federal lawsuit alleging insider-driven front-running that helped destroy $40 billion in value. And it's accused of running algorithmic sell programs that suppress Bitcoin's price for months. And it holds the largest disclosed ETF position in Bitcoin while maintaining a derivative book that can make its actual exposure opposite of what they're saying. Long article. I pinned it up top. I don't know what y'all want to make of that. Very heady topic, I know. Sorry for not often will read a long-winded article like that, but I am just not. I don't have the ability to explain that in my own words very well. And Diablito adds, crime season has been worse than any of us thought. Zonko adds, I love finding random stats to support my bull bias. So here's a good one. Bitcoin's, I don't know what this chart even is, or what to make of it, but it's from Glassnode. Spent output profit ratio, SOPR. Can you educate me on what I'm looking at when we're talking Bitcoin SOPR? That is a new phrase for me. Oh wow, DeFi Addict adds, even Trump's company accused Jane Street of naked short selling. And I guess the TLDR is there is more than meets the eye sometimes. And the whole idea of institutional adoption and Bitcoin making it to Wall Street, there's other challenges that come with that. Derivatives in particular are simply, it opens up another can of worms that, yes, Diego, I will grab that claim link. Someone shared. Actually, Jesus, do you have that claim link? I saw someone dropped it in the other chat. I'll grab it, Diego.
For Gwei?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a tweet that I put up with it. If you want that.
Yeah, and I found it's ethgasfoundation.org. Diego, I dropped that in the abstract chat for you.
There you go.
Jesus, any comments, thoughts, anything to make of that article, the whole Jane Street issue or derivatives as a whole?
No, not really. I mean, we just got to wait till something's provable with proof and see what obviously some of it's there. So we just got to wait and see what happens. I don't know, man. It's wild that we can't get back to where we were last year. And something's keeping the price down. So whether it's Jane Street, Bryce's Corner, or whatever, Bryce's Secret, whatever it is, somebody above our powers are manipulating a shit ton of stuff.
That's where I net out to. I do think there's some suppression. I do think there's some big money games. And while I may not be able to explain it that well, these derivatives and this it does unlock other opportunities that a little more than meets the eye. So the lesson of the day is be careful with leverage out there if you're playing in the perp streets. Whether it's GUI token or Bitcoin, there's risk that comes with all. This is my final topic. I at least wanted to fly over. Indiana Bitcoin rights bill heads for final sign off after approval. Indiana HB 1042 received approval on Wednesday. The bill seeks to open up crypto investments for public retirement plans and protect digital asset activities on an individual level. Their state legislature advanced a bill that opens up crypto investment options for key public retirement and savings plans and protects individual access to digital assets. The bill now awaits final approval from the governor. It's titled Regulation and Investment of Cryptocurrency, and it was introduced by Kyle Pierce. It requires specified state-administered retirement and saving plans to offer participants a self-directed brokerage account that includes at least one cryptocurrency investment option. Effective plans include the legislators' defined contribution plan, the Hoosier Start College Savings Program, and specified plans under the Public Employees Retirement Fund and Teachers Retirement Fund. So if you're a teacher in Indiana, if you're a public employee in Indiana, or you have you're got a Hoosier Start College Savings Program for your kids, it looks like soon you will be able to add some Bitcoin or other crypto to your retirement or college savings plans there. It also bars public agencies, except for the Department of Financial Institutions, from enforcing rules that limit individual use of digital assets. Specifically, agencies may not prohibit or restrict a person's ability to accept crypto as payment for legal goods or services, or to hold assets in a self-hosted or hardware wallet. Salute to the state of Indiana doing good work up there. This now awaits the Governor Mike Braun signature. If signed, the bill provisions would take effect July 1st of this year. Lastly, it did mention that the bill prohibits the state from imposing special taxes on crypto activities that do not apply to other financial transactions. It's just more, I know it's just a state, and you may say, oh, I don't live in Indiana. I think each one of these is a win for the industry. And we talk about long-term where we're heading and the tailwinds that exist for this industry. It's like win after win after win. And this sort of stuff we would have loved to see years ago. And this is all this added up to why I remain so irrationally long and bullish crypto as an industry. Bitcoin, Ethereum, while I may not fully understand what firms like Jane Street might be doing with their derivatives and their 10 a.m. dumps and price suppression, or what other unseen naked shorts might be doing to price action. It is pretty heady and deep. What I do understand is like some of this stuff as far as adoption goes and good regulation is a good tailwind. And I think it's maybe it's too aggressive to call it the beach ball underwater or a spring ready, getting loaded up. But I do think that at some point, all the positive tailwinds from federal to state, and I just think you're going to see more and more states. I remember it wasn't too long ago, we were talking about all these states and the U.S. government having a Bitcoin strategic reserve. There was a lot of talk. A lot of that's in flight. A lot of that's in action. We still haven't seen that buy pressure yet. And while derivatives may impact price action in the short term, at the end of the day, there is only 21 million. It will only ever be 21 million real full Bitcoins. And I go back to economics 101 that if demand is greater than supply, number go up. When that happens, I don't know. I'm not that smart, but I think it's an exciting time to be here. Not just because the price is up a little bit over the last day or two, but just more good things happening for the space at large. And I am here for it and honored to be here with all of you. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope some people made some money on your GUI token claims, or you put yes on Axiom. We'll be back tomorrow. Actually, I'll grab tomorrow's link. I'll pin that up top before I play the closeout. Go smash that reminder. I don't think I've shared it yet. So I don't think anyone's hit it for Coffee with Captain 1106 tomorrow morning. Oh, thanks, Zonko. Zonko adds SOPR is a way to measure coins being sold at a loss. Basically, what this chart shows is that when capitulation just occurred, SOPR less than 1. We saw this last April, May, and the price went from 90K to 125. This pick is just 1 year. Zoom out and it's even crazier. This is the chart he is referencing here. So Bitcoin sold at a loss, and this is you look at last year, price exploded. Another data point that is bullish for the maybe even short-term price action. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate the education. And I will post this link for tomorrow, and appreciate the reminders as you all head out of here. Hope you all enjoy your Thursday. This is going up top here in about 2 seconds. and I will play a quick outro, and you can smash that reminder on your way out. If you're looking for another show, I know Jesus has one at 11, and I'm sure other people are talking about the Axiom expose, an investigation from Zach. Enjoy your day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone.